Well, let's get started. So again, we have a new vendor, which I think many of you have tried the popcorn. We are with Pecatonica River. So far we have met with their leadership team. Kevin and I have had a few Zoom meetings. We've had some calls with them, their emails, timely response. They're in the back of your leader's guide and in the back of this presentation, which we'll post later, and send out their trails, or their support pops at prpopcorn.com. Super fast response time. I just sent them an email earlier today. I had a response within like an hour. So they're really, it's going to be a big step up, I think, in customer service. And then just the taste of the product. I mean, I don't know how many of you have tasted it, but it's just been a really nice thing. So Pecatonica has actually been around since 1983. They started as Rural Route 1 popcorn, and then they've just continued to grow. They've continued to kind of expand their processes. They're based in Wisconsin. Wisconsin cheese, we all know, amazing. So obviously they're going to have a really great cheese product, but all of their products are really, really delicious. And then, Cameron, did you want to talk about tasting kits now, or do you think you want to wait until towards the end? Okay. So again, the unit impact and the council impact. Again, we all know what the popcorn program can bring to our scouting programs. You know, teaching scouts values, earning their own way, responsibility, perseverance, salesmanship, communication, self-confidence, enhancing those scouting programs, providing needed equipment, and then reducing those program costs. This is basically a preview of what the order form is going to look like. So we are going to have similar products to what we had with Trails End, but slightly different. One of the big ones you can see right here in the middle, this little Chiefs tin, which is fantastic. So our caramel with sea salt is going to be in a Chiefs tin. When we first started talking to PR, they actually had kind of told us that the first year that councils, that they bring on a new council, they really didn't do any licensed product. And then we got the order form and that was on there and we were like, oh, are we going to get a Chiefs tin? And they're like, yep, we're got you all set up. You're set up with the Chiefs tin. So that's very exciting. A lot of the other products, the higher dollar end products are going to provide a lot more popcorn than what we were used to seeing with the former vendors. So it's going to be really nice to kind of have some of those, you know, 4-way, 5-way, bigger tins. And then later in the presentation, we'll talk a little bit more about the online products. There's even more available in the online store. Important dates, which again, these are all in the leader's guide that you have there with you in your timeline. But again, the very first date, if your unit is interested in doing the show and sell popcorn, where you order the popcorn, have it delivered in September and available for early orders, whether it be storefronts, going door to door and actually taking orders and delivering it right at the same time. Those orders are due into the Pecatonica River system by September 3rd. So you can go in and you could place your order today. Yesterday, we had them set up all of the distribution warehouses in the system. So when you go in and place that order for this, for White Buffalo and Southwinds, you will pick United Warehouse as your location for your distribution. And those orders will come in on September 23rd. Our popcorn sale in person officially begins on September 24th, and then we'll end on October 24th. And then that second take order distribution, when those orders are due in the system on October 24th, we will actually deliver those in November. So again, for our districts, White Buffalo and Southwinds, that will be at United Warehouse on November 11th. And both of those, we will send out a sign up genius like we have in the past, and we'll give you times to sign up for a slot to pick up your popcorn. Unit commissions. So we talked a little bit about this for those of you that were at the July roundtable and the ice cream social for White Buffalo. I think some of you have probably heard about this with Southwinds as well at your roundtables or other meetings, district committee meetings. The unit commissions, we're trying to make it a little bit more incentive to raise that average dollar amount per scout and give you a little more percentage points based on how much you sell. So base commission for all units will be 31%. You will get plus 1% for being here tonight or attending via Zoom. Or we're also recording this session tonight. So when we send that out, and if you watch the session, you'll also get that plus 1% for attending the training. So that will get you up to 32% for your commission. And then you all have the little sheets that we gave you that have either pack numbers on them, troop numbers, or girl troop crew ship numbers on them. So if you look at that sheet and find your unit, it's going to have your membership as of July 31st. So it's going to have your number of scouts, and then it's going to take that number times 250 per scout. So that's going to be your goal to achieve an extra 1% in commission. And then it's also going to have a goal of your number of scouts times $400. And that will be your goal if you can earn the plus 2%. So if your scouts average $400 per scout based on your July 31st membership, you'll get that plus 2%. So you can max out at a 34% commission, which is a lot more than we had last year, which is wonderful. So if you recruit, our little example down here at the bottom, if you recruit a bunch of scouts, their average just continues to go down per scout. So anything else to add on that, Kevin? I mean, that's the big thing, is if we can get more scouts in the door, your average continues to go down.
The beauty of this year, and most of you have heard about the council office, things are changing, more changing. But the beauty of this year is myself, Keith Howell, both scout dads, both actively involved in units, were a big part of making this happen. It's like, what can we do?
Hey, Kevin,
Yes.
you want to come talk closer?
Oh, it's gonna be bad there. But what could we do to make it as plausible and as possible for the units to really succeed? Because we wanted to give you guys as much as we could, especially knowing we're not doing the prize program and it's a new product. We wanted to make it a sweet entry point for everybody. So again, 32% for showing up today, and then 34% with not any $400 isn't that bad. I mean, you guys know it's not bad at all. It's just, yeah, excitement, fun. It's gonna be great.
And especially when those recruitment numbers start going up, I think that'll make it, a little bit easier to get to there. Online sales, because online, you'll see in a later slide. So basically for online sales, it's all free shipping. What comes back to the units and the council is 60%. So we're just going to split that even, 30% to all of our units, 30% to the council. So that will be an even split for anything sold online. So council incentive wise, we revamped it a little bit this year. I really liked when we had the top 50, kind of the top 50 for the council. So we kind of brought that back. It's actually going to be about the top 56. So we'll have an overall council top seller. That scout will receive a $300 Amazon gift card. We'll have the top seller from each of the 5 districts. Each of those top sellers will receive a $150 Amazon gift card. And then the next 10 top sellers from all of the districts, those will each receive $100 for an Amazon gift card. The next top 10 will receive $50 for the Amazon gift card. And then the next top 30 will each receive a $25 Amazon gift card. So again, we're trying to spread the wealth, get more scouts involved in those top seller awards. And again, just to note that council top seller is excluded from the district top seller award. And then Leslie, the back there, Leslie worked awesome and reached out to local businesses and got tons of local businesses involved in our weekly challenges. So the weekly challenges are back with awards for every scout that meets it. So instead of doing a drawing per district and only one scout winning something, every scout will win what is listed for the weekly challenges. So again, week 1 is $600, and that's a $20 gift certificate to All Star Sports. Week 2 is they would need to reach the threshold of the $1,200, and that is the North Rock Lanes Pass and the Carousel Skate free pass. And then week 3, that would be the $1,800 in sales. And that is the pass, $10 game pass to Dave & Buster's, and then a free cone or an ice cream dish from Freddy's. And then week 4, the scout would need to reach the $2,400 in total sales. And that would be the free pass from the Cosmosphere, and then the VIP jump pass from Wichita Sports Forum, the AV8. So thank you, Leslie. Great job getting the prizes together. And to top it off, anybody that meets one of the weekly challenge thresholds, they will be put into a final drawing, and one Cub Scout will win a free registration to resident camp at QSR or Webelos Woods for the 2022 camp season. And then one Scouts BSA or Venturing Scout will be drawn for free registration for 1 week at QSR for the 2022 camp season. So great news on that, and excited for our Scouts to earn their way to camp. So Pecatonica, and we're kind of calling them PR, and that's what they call themselves. So PR has a winner's circle. So their winner's circle is for every $2,500 that the Scout sells, they get to pick from one of these prizes that's on the screen here. So they got a couple gift card choices, TV, cool scooter, zip line, drone, kind of some cool prizes there. So again, when we first were talking to them, I was thinking it was only, you know, just a $25 threshold, but it's actually for every $2,500. And in our, we've got a couple packs that have a couple really go-getters. And in fact, our top console seller the last 2 years has sold $10,000. So that Scout would actually win 4 of these prizes. So they can actually earn quite a bit with these, which is really cool. So let's talk a little bit about how to sell. So again, I think most of you in here have been doing this for years. This is kind of what the order form is going to look like. So again, we'll have that traditional order form front and back with the spots for the names. On one of the sides, it has something about the winner's circle, I think. This is just a picture of one side of it, because it's actually, I think, a trifold or a double fold, right, Kim?
So a few on
Yeah.
the double fold. We're
Yeah.
sending us door hangers.
And then we've got, yep,
And
these work tents, table tents. So the table tents are gonna, yeah, have the 2 sides that'll look like this, and then on the bottom of it, it'll have like an order form. So those will kind of be a table tent type thing that people can take to work. And then these door hangers, we are getting 12,000, I believe. Is that the?
yeah.
So 12,000 door hangers. So we will have lots of door hangers for our Scouts to be blitzing their neighborhoods. You know, if somebody doesn't answer a door, put a door hanger on there and get the word out. There's a spot on the bottom to put the Scouts information so that they can leave that and hopefully get some contact back there as well. Oops, sorry guys. So we actually have some sales banners, money envelopes. Those are actually going to be all of this stuff. We've gotten pieces of it at the council so far, but not everything's in so far. So we are going to put together, there's actually a nice little tote bag that PR has given us for each unit. So we're going to be packing those with the order forms, the tents, the door hangers, an envelope for your unit. And then PR also has an actual money envelope that they will give for each Scout. So those are going to be packed up together, and we're thinking of handing those out at September roundtable, correct, Kevin?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay. Because not quite everything is in yet on those. And then this is really cool. I'll let you talk about that because it's.
Well, I wasn't sure sales banner versus this. This might be what.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
they
not sure
really
if
talk
that's
about
another
that
thing.
there. Yeah,
I don't know if that's another
Yeah.
thing.
but this is really cool.
So this is just a fun board to help present. Like
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys all know I move around way too much for this, but all right. Anyways, a fun board to present when you're presenting to your units. This is nice just on the table when you're doing storefronts. And then on the back, you've got first day to sell, what we do with our popcorn money. So, you've got this during the meeting, you're asking back and forth to the kids, you're writing things down, time to vote on our favorites using the tasting kits, our goal. And, as you have weekly meetings, you're kind of having this displayed on where you're at, ways to sell. So just a fun little piece. But again, another way Pecatonica is supporting us, and this, the tasting kits, all this stuff isn't costing the council anything. Pecatonica's flat rate, and they've been, fantastic. So, and these will go home with you today.
Yes. And then the Super Saturday prizes, again, we don't have those yet, but once we get those, we'll kind of fill you in about, that will be more to come on how we're going to distribute those Super Saturday prizes. So again, where to sell, you guys kind of have know about this before. Hopefully we'll be able to do some show and sells at some storefronts. show and deliver. If you do order that popcorn in advance and get that order in September, yeah, it's up to your unit whether or not you want to check that out to your scouts and let them actually go door to door with the product. I think we found that if scouts have it in hand, customers are much more likely to buy. So if that's something your unit wants to do, you're absolutely willing to do that. Again, the take order the traditional way, just going with the order form and taking that order, taking payment up front, and then delivering the popcorn in November. And then Pecatonica does have that nice online store that has a few other things in it that aren't going to be in the in-person sale. So again, the online store, that's the 60% commission coming back to scouting, 30% to the unit, 30% to the council. They do have free shipping on all orders, so we won't be bouncing back and forth between, is it free shipping? Is it not free shipping? Is it $5 off? Is it whatever? It's always free shipping. And then obviously all of those online sales also count towards the prizes. Yes, Amy?
Do you know if their products online are the same price as their order forms?
I've actually got a slide. I think the next slide might say pricing. I can't remember if it says prices. Yes, it does. Okay. So this is online. So the online store is actually, it's pretty different from what you can get in person. So it's got a lot of trios. So like, or, bundles is what they're calling them. So like, obviously you can see that first one with the 3 different kinds, the cheese, the caramel, and the natural. It's $30. So I think they're similar to what they would be in person. If something like that was sold in person, it's just different than what is on the order form. So everything that's on the online store is not what we're going to be selling in person.
So to our understanding, the reason we're at 60% on the online versus 70% is because of the price and because of shipping. So
Yes.
instead of gouging our customers or killing us with shipping in the background, they're doing the 30%, which is known in the get-go. And again, it's still a great opportunity. I feel a lot better as a parent asking relatives and folks online to buy at these prices, the prices we've seen in the past.
Yes.
So.
And you've got, there's a couple other interesting things. They've got a coffee. They've got a pretzel, that cheerful variety down here in the bottom over here. It's got the pretzels, peanut clusters, cherry cordials. So a couple little different prices. They still do have the military donations, both in person and online, as a option as well. And the white ruby. I mean, let's talk about the white ruby. I know, Stacy, you don't like it, but seriously, the white ruby, people. That's my favorite so far. It's amazing. It's really good.
Well,
It's really good.
I mean,
It's very sweet though. So if you don't like super sweet,
but like first day order, you buy a bucket of that at $50 and you send your kid around the bucket. And you go door to door with like, here, try one of these. Yes, this much. And then
yeah, it's pretty cool. The other thing, just kind of off topic, I guess, but every council we've talked to, and Kevin and I have had some calls with a couple different councils, raves about Pecatonica. I mean, they're like, yes, we've been selling them for, the one we talked to was 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some that are more than that. They just cannot say enough good things about them. So we're really excited to kind of start this, this escape.
Your online orders, what's the standard delivery time frame for that?
That I don't know that we've talked about.
Question.
Yeah, but we will definitely find out. You want to add a list, Kevin, and then so we'll find out. They did say that, talking about placing your show and sell order, we did get confirmation yesterday that they will allow units to order chocolate products for the show and sell. So again, that's going to be based on your comfort level with getting chocolate in the time frame we're getting it, and it will still be fairly hot. So knowing that if you get chocolate, you're gonna have to be careful about storage. You definitely would want to store that inside and not probably in a garage during the September timeframe if you choose to order that chocolate in. But we will have the option of getting the chocolate. And I don't believe they're going to have a delay on the chocolate product like there was with Trails End.
They're comfortable shipping it and that it would be in good shape when we get it.
Exactly. And I don't think they have, it kind of seemed like maybe their shipping was a little better, or maybe they've, I think obviously they've been around since 1983 and they've grown every year. I think even just a couple of years ago, Kevin, wasn't it 20 some councils? And now this year they're serving 37. So, you know, they're continuing to grow at a pace that's comfortable for them so that they can still serve their customers, which is what we like to hear. I mean, that was really reassuring for us. So again, placing your show and sell order, I just did a few screenshots here. Again, we'll send out this PowerPoint so you have this, but super easy when you log into the system, going to that new order tab right over there on the side. You're going to click on the new order there on the upper left. And then you're going to click on add your order. So you're going to select show and sell for the order type. You're going to put United Warehouse for our location for White Buffalo and Southwinds. The other pickup locations are there for our other districts. So Osage Nation, Pawnee, and Kansas will also have the distribution place listed there that they can select when they submit their order. And then you are going to definitely click submit. And then when you go to the next screen, it'll have the order form that you'll do. And that will have all the different types. Again, when we're doing the show and sell order only, you have to do full cases. So you will want to do full cases of all of the products. And from what I remember, Kevin, it's everything comes 8 to a case, except for the ones that are an individual tin, which would be the larger bundles, the Hometown Heroes, the Cheese Lovers, and the Chocolate Lovers. But everything else, 8 items to a case. So it's really easy to know. It's not 12, it's not 10, it's not 9, it's 8.
And we can promise on a single bag will bring it to you.
Yes, because there's no bags.
And it's great, the tins.
They are buckets or tins. So, or boxes, I guess. The microwave is still in a box. But yes, buckets, boxes, and tins. So, which is very exciting. And a cool Chiefs tin. It's very cool. So again, you're going to enter the number of cases for each product. As you go, it'll have your total there, and then clicking submit. So separate from your login that you've created when you actually went to register for your unit, there's also a separate login for this kernel tracker tool. So this is going to be similar to the tracker that we had with Trails End, just not quite as fancy as what I would call it, but still going to do the job of tracking what we need to do. So the kernel tracker is actually a separate login that you will create. You can actually use your same login for this, the original login that you used. It's just a different button you hit. The first time you log in, you do have to create that login. So from your dashboard, you're going to click on that kernel tracker, which again is the very far right button. And then the first time you log in, again, you're going to create that account with the kernel tracker, and you only have to do that once. And then when you get into the kernel tracker system, that is where you can look at. So if you have a show and sell order, that's where you can track your inventory. You can check out popcorn to scouts. That's where you're going to add your scouts. I did find out earlier today, this was my email I sent to the pops at prpopcorn.com. I asked them, I have my troop has 50 scouts. Do I have to enter them individually? And she's like, nope, just email us a spreadsheet. We'll put them in there for you. So if you have a unit that has, quite a few scouts, I mean, I would say maybe over 20 or 25, you can absolutely email them a spreadsheet and they will enter your multiple scouts. So they need first name, and you'll see it in the screen here. They need first name, last name, email address. Yes.
Is this like a single sign-on function where you need to make sure that your login for Pecatonica's website is the same as this, where it will error out if it's not? Like, does it need to be the same?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it needs to be the same, but we can ask that. You want to write that down? Thank you. Yeah, that'd be good to find out. But I don't think so, because I think I did my troop one last night when I was doing the slides, and I think it was different and it worked for me.
Okay.
So I think that's good, but good question.
Separate from what we already logged in.
It's within the same login. So when you log in with your login that you've already created, you are going to see this dashboard. So just the kernel tracker is a separate button within your login that you've already created.
Okay.
And then the first time when you create that account, and then the next time when you log in and you go to that kernel tracker, you're in. Now, the nice thing about the kernel tracker though is when you go and log into it, like if you're on a smart device, a smartphone or a tablet, you can save that kernel tracker login to your your screen or so then you don't even have to go into, I guess, the front side of PR. You can actually go straight to the kernel tracker. So you can kind of eliminate one click, I guess. So you can actually put a shortcut for that and actually put that right on your device. It'll make more sense what you guys get in there, but it's pretty simple. Yes, ma'am.
So if we already created a login.
Mhm. Yes, I've actually got that question. I believe I've got it sent to them. I just haven't I sent it right before I left home. So we're going to find that out. The question was if somebody else logged in and created the login, but now it's going to be a different kernel. I mean, your login will still work, but we need to figure out how to behind the scenes kind of get that changed over to the new person. And we'll get that found out and send that out to you guys. So again, if you want to create, yes.
Is it possible to have multiple kernels?
You can only have one login. You can have multiple people that can get into it, from what I understand. But like each unit can only have one login, and each unit has to have a separate login. We have asked that because like I'm 2 units, plus I'm council, plus I'm district. So I've actually got 4, but unfortunately it's each one has to be a separate login. But you can share that login. So like for my login, I made it kind of generic. Like mine was like pack 3450, and then my password was something generic. So like I'll share that with my Cub Master, and if my committee chair, whoever wants to get in there, they can be in there as well. So I think, but even if your login is something specific to your name or thing like that, I believe that can be updated and tweaked as we need to. Yes, Leslie?
Just backtracking. because
Yep.
Maybe I've asked and I forgot, but is the volume the same for the online or is it more?
The volume on the online,
Yeah, like the items online. Some of them are more.
I think some of them are more for the price, especially compared to what Trails End was.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And especially Kevin and I were comparing some, like, was it the chocolate one, Kevin?
Yes.
It was like for Trails End, I believe it was like $75 for a chocolate, and it was like 20 ounces. And this one's like $60 and it's like 60 ounces.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a big difference in how many ounces you were getting for the price.
While we're there,
Mhm.
my Cerebral stuff. John and I mean, he gave me last year, he was honest, it's like, Kevin, $25 for 12 packs of popcorn, especially when you're getting outside the hour. And we know that they're getting $4.99 inside. So, I mean, we know, we're honest with what we're dealing with here. So here, this year, it's 16 packages for 20, so almost twice as much. And it's just, yeah.
And it's less, and it costs less.
Yeah, it costs less, and it's so $20.
And you can get it in person, and it's not just online, because last year it was only online.
Yes.
We couldn't even get it in person.
And
So.
something you mentioned, the tins.
Mhm.
So the tins, you got the Chiefs, but you also got, the rest of them are Terry Redlin. And if you type in his name type in Terry Redlin popcorn on Google, it comes up as eBay because people are reselling these tins online. So there is a value added piece there. People actually appreciate his art, and it's a real deal. So I just always thought, it's like, we couldn't figure out who this Terry Redlin guy was. I just put it in, there's people reselling the tins for $7, $8, $12 online. So.
It's kind of funny. Actually, Kevin, will you send, will you type the pops@prpopcorn.com into the chat?
Okay.
And tell them that that's where they can send the list of scouts to. So again, so entering your scouts, I think I've got a couple slides on that here. Let's go to. So again, you're going to click on your dashboard view to view your product stock and distribution. And then again, you're going to enter your scouts info while you're in this kernel tracker. So when you click on the scout button, you're going to click on add scout. And then again, it's first name, last name, sales goal, and email address. So once you add those scouts, and again, or if you send the email list, if you've got several scouts, and you can send that to pops@prpopcorn.com. And once they get those entered in there, so like I set up my son last night, you get a welcome email. So whatever email you put in there for the scout, the parent will get the welcome email, and it tells them all exactly what they need to do to go register their scout to sell. So that's kind of nice too.
Will they then be able to turn around and say they do red wagon stuff? Are they gonna be able to go in and enter that in and we see it? Or do I have to do it all?
That part I'm not sure yet. We haven't quite gotten into all of the bells and whistles of how that works, but we will definitely keep you posted on that. So for those online, the question was, once the scouts get into the system, will they enter all of their sales so that we can see them, kind of like we were tracking with Trails End? And that part, not quite sure yet, but we will definitely let you know. I know the online sales will flow through to their scout tracker, and it's like their own ID that they have. So they kind of have a login ID. So I know that the online sales flows through. I'm not sure about the in-person, but we will definitely find that out. The other cool thing that we'll talk about here in a second is these helpful tips. So on their website, even before you log in, if you go to the QuiviraPopcorn.com, there is this helpful tips at the bottom. And if you click on that, this list of helpful resources pops up. This is fantastic. It has all kinds of great resources. It's got donation receipts. If you want to give somebody a military donation receipt. It's got sorry we missed you cards. Obviously, we'll also have the 12,000 door hangers, so that will be great. It's got, if you want to print a receipt for someone, it's got the tasting kits if you're going to do a tasting with your unit. It's got little cards you can print off that has all the different flavors of what you got in your tasting kit. But the best link in this is that tutorial video link. There are about 18, they're from 1 to 3 minute videos, super fast. Anybody, no matter, they're super fast, but they're very helpful. I went through and watched several of them over the last few days, and there's one on kernel tracker and what to do. There's one on adding your scouts. There's one on how to do a tasting. There's one on, just everything. So there's really some really nice, short, they're not long, they're super short, they're easy to watch, and really helpful links for you guys to watch. The other cool thing that's there that I put a little screenshot of, there's something that your scouts can do. So your scouts can go to that link, and there is a little video that they can click through, and they answer different questions, and then they click on the sun to go to the next page. And so it's just kind of a cool little, obviously probably more geared towards the little cubbies, but it's still, it's really just kind of a neat little, not very long. I kind of clicked through it, and there was, several questions, and then at the end there's a little certificate. So that's kind of cool too for your younger cubbies to kind of show them. So again, those video links, if you click that helpful tips at the bottom and then click the tutorial for the video links, there are, I think there was 18 in total. I just did a screenshot of the first few, but again, there's one on kernel tracker. The My PR Popcorn is what the scouts kind of page is called. So there's one on that. So again, your parents, you can instruct them to go here. They can watch that video. Talking about the seller IDs, the Scout Boss is also something that's I think more what you were talking about, Shane, with the Scout Boss and tracking orders and things. So that's one you're going to want to watch. And then just all kinds of different ones about just the different collateral that they're going to give us. There's one on the sales banner. There's one on the Saturday prices. There's one on the door hangers. There's one on the tasting kits. So this page actually goes a little ways down. So there's all kinds of nice little short videos for you guys to watch. And again, technical support and services, we're going to want to email that pops at QuiviraPopcorn.com. That's going to be your one-stop shop for, obviously you can reach out on the Facebook page and to your district colonels and myself, but that's also going to be a nice, especially if you have technical questions, they are going to be your best bet, because since we're all still kind of learning the system, I may not know, Jenny may not know, David may not know, Leslie may not know, but they're going to know, and they're going to be very responsive and be able to answer those questions quickly. If it's a council related, commission or prize or something like that question, definitely start out with us. And then we'll try to keep, as we learn tips and different things, we'll try to keep posting on the Facebook page, sending out communications and that as we learn more. But I'm very excited about that video kind of links there, because it's going to be a really great thing for you guys. Let's talk about unit swaps. So we had a meeting with a couple weeks ago,
Yes.
3 weeks ago, so with another council, and we kind of wanted to learn about how they were doing swaps. So within the PR system, they don't have a way for us to electronically do swaps unit to unit, like the unit submits it, the other unit accepts it. They're not quite there yet. I think they'll get there, but not quite yet. So the council, somebody with council level access, does have to enter those swaps into the system. So the way this other council did it was they just have an email that's set up. So I set up a Gmail for us. It's QuiviraCouncilPopcornTraining2021@gmail.com. So how we're going to handle all of our swaps is you guys are going to figure out, what you need to do. The giving unit is going to post on the Facebook page, or if you need popcorn, post on the Facebook page. Email one of your district colonels, email council. If you've got something you need to get rid of, or if you're looking for something, we'll do it how we normally do. But then basically, we're going to need to send an email once everybody agrees on the swap, once the product has changed hands, an email is going to come to the swap email, which is QuiviraCouncilPopcornTraining2021@gmail.com. And you're going to CC, make sure all the parties are on there. So if the giving unit is sending the email, make sure you copy the colonel of the unit who's receiving the popcorn, so everybody's on there on the same page. And then somebody will go into that the system and actually make those adjustments in the system so that they appear correctly on your invoices. So that council, he sounded like they did it that way, and they've done it that way for several years, and it worked very smoothly. So I don't see anything. There's not going to be there's no forms. There's no, if you want to do a form, you can, but we don't need a form. We just need an email, everybody in agreement, and we'll get it into the system. Obviously, our Facebook page, I know not everybody's on Facebook, but it is a great place for those of you that are. Obviously, our council Facebook page, we try to respond very timely. There's several of us that watch it during popcorn season. You never know when you're going to get a response. It could be late. I was working on slides till midnight last night, so we'll get you a response as quickly as we can. And then there's just lots of, if you find a tip or if you find something, post it on there. We definitely want to get the conversation going of, especially with it being a new vendor. If you find a great way to do something, put it out there for everybody to see. We're all going to be learning this together, so it'll be really nice to kind of have that place to share that information. Unit returns, those will be similar to last year. Full cases may be returned to the council. We've got a couple dates on there. We actually expanded the timeframes a little bit. So we've got the Friday, October 15th from 11 to 1 and also 4 to 5:30. And then Friday, October 22nd, 11 to 1 and 4 to 5:30. Again, similar to last year, it will be, return policy will be no more than 10% of your initial show and sell order. And then last but not least, we got our council and district contacts. All of these are also in your leader's guide. And then again, we're going to post these slides. We'll also email them out to you guys. We want this to be very successful. We're very excited about the new vendor, and yeah, just really can't thank you enough. And thank you for your time. Thank you for the time that you're going to give to your scouts. It'll all be worth it. So you want to talk? Kevin's going to talk a little bit about, so maybe talk over here so
Yes.
everybody online can hear you. Couple, yeah, absolutely.
On the square,
Yes.
now is that gonna have to be for each individual kid, or can it be for, is it gonna go for troop, or?
You can decide how you want to do your square yourself. Yes. And it's within the leader's guide. If you don't have a square, you can sign up through Pecatonica. They have, there's a link in there that will give you the, I think it's your first $1,000 free, and then so much off for the next however much you use it. But there is a link in there. I think also if you currently use Square and you recommend someone, I believe you can also get a discount that way as well. So yes, ma'am.
This is my first year.
Yes.
I'm gonna oversee the popcorn stuff.
Yes.
Tips for kind of some guidelines for that first order to.
I think,
show in some-
talk to me offline. But yes, I can definitely help you. Yes, so the question was for, she's a new colonel and wanting to know kind of on that first order, what's been done. I have history for some of the units that we can go back and look at and just kind of see. So that's definitely something that I can help with, or, you know, Kevin to some point kind of has been around and we've ordered enough that we can kind of help you kind of figure out what you might want to do for your unit based on your size and, you know, kind of what you are. Absolutely. Yes, Shane.
So 2 questions.
Yep.
First one, when we add the Scout, does that automatically create their
No.
online store?
No, the parent has to agree to it.
Okay.
Yes.
they're
So
gonna-
adding the Scout just sends the parent the information that says, here's your Scouts. It creates an ID, but they have to agree to it before it creates an online store. Yes. And did you have 2 questions?
Yeah, on
Okay.
the door hanger, I
Mhm.
know you showed us where we
Mhm.
can get that. Is it a PDF or is it?
No, we're gonna
You can
have
fill
12,
in-
we're gonna have 12,000 physical door hangers that are gonna be delivered to the council.
Right, but
Mhm.
let's say they needed more, they want more.
Yes.
Or are they able to like type in all their
Yep.
information before they print it
Yep.
off at home?
Yep, and there are, so on the website, at that bottom in the, let me get back there. So the bottom down here, no, sorry, it's the files at the top. So on the top of the website, where it says files up there in the middle, the files tab up there in the middle has the PDF of the order form. It has the PDF of the door hanger and the PDF of the I think the table tent.
Yes.
I think there was those 3 things are out there that anybody can print. And I think they are fillable, like you were saying, where you could enter your Scouts information if you wanted to do that ahead of time versus filling out a bunch of the ones we're going to get that are pre-printed. Yes. Okay, over here.
Can parent clubs will have their own account?
I would guess no. I think it's only going to be the Scout. But it will be connected typically to a parent email. Yes. Now, anybody can get to just the website and going to these like helpful tips and the videos. Anybody can get to those. You don't have to have a login to get to that. Selling, no, it is only the Scout. Yes. Over here.
With the online commission being different this
Yes.
year, are we allowed to count that towards the weekly price?
Yes.
The weekly goals?
Yes. Online price. The question was, are online sales counted towards the weekly sales challenges? And the answer is yes. It will be total sales for the weekly challenges. Yes. Over here.
For that weekly challenge, then
Yes.
we have to get their order form from it and put all that in.
So that we're working on.
Okay.
So we're hoping that somehow the system somewhat calculates it, so we don't have to do that, but we don't know yet. If not, we may do some type of a Google form for you guys to just, so how I typically do it is like for my pack and troop, I make them either text me a picture of their order form, or like if we're at a meeting, they show it to me and I can see their online sales. So as long as you as a colonel are verifying it, then what you're turning into either me or a Google form or the district colonel, we trust you that you're verifying that those Scouts have sold that. And then we may just do like a simple Google form that says, give me your Scout's name. This is what they've sold so far. This is my unit number, submit. And then the nice thing about Google Forms is they create a nice spreadsheet for you. Then it's all tracked for us. So we may end up doing it that way if we can't track it within the system. Yes, ma'am, back there.
Examples of like the size of the tins.
Ooh, did you get a tin? When they sent that first kit, did they send you tins?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Says the ounceage though. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual, well, those are the boxes, but, you know, the 30-pack double butter mic lots, microwave box, but. So the dimensions are there, so you can get the rough dimensions on the tins that come single from that
Yes.
site.
Because I think as you, that's just a screenshot on the website, that will scroll down through all of their products. So like Jared was saying, on those individual tins, you could look at the dimensions and those might, say it again,
16 and 19 ounces.
16 and 19 ounces for one.
and the Cheese lovers is 20 and the chocolate lovers is 60.
Cheese lovers is 20, chocolate lovers is 60. That's the one Kevin and I were looking at. We're all about that chocolate lovers, I'm telling you. 60 ounces for $60. I'm in. All right, any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Is the increase in the base commission, do the online sales count towards that?
So the increase in the base commission is only for the in-person sales. So the online sales will all be the just 30% commission. Everything online is 30% commission back because of, the whole amount coming back to scouting is only 60% versus for the in-person sale, the amount coming back to scouting is 70%. So that difference is where, yes, so for the online, it's just the 30%. So the in-person sales, yeah, your base is 31. Being here tonight gets you an extra percent. So you're at 32 already. And then again, those numbers we talked about increasing the 1 or 2% based on your average scout sales.
Based on average in-person.
In-person scout sales, sorry, in-person scout sales, yes. Now, did we talk about, though, I think what, I kind of get where you're going now. So is the total sales, the online, would it be counted toward that, or do they have to average that
I would say total sales.
250 for
I
that?
mean, we can't augment the percentage of the online, but
Right,
if the total sales.
if the total sales
Oh, yeah.
are whatever that number, so how many are in your
So if my
unit, David?
son sells $200 in standard and 500 online, I would say it's 200 or 50 online. I said I fit the 250 barrier.
Total
Yeah,
average sales,
yeah,
yeah,
I think so. I
yes,
think we can easily. do
yes,
that.
yes,
I
Gabe.
mean, if you're averaging those numbers across the board, we want all of you to succeed. We want
Yes.
the youth to succeed.
Absolutely, yes, Gabe,
Sorry, a question.
Get that
hang on just a
number
second,
on this sheet,
yes,
online plus in person, we get the,
34, 33%, yes.
yes, the extra percentage, yes,
only on the in-person orders.
Yes.
yes,
So only on the $200 of in-person orders, we get the 34%. Right?
yes,
The $50, you still get 30%.
Correct.
Count them together to reach the 34%.
correct. Great way to explain it, Amy, thank you. Did you have a question, Gabe?
Yes,
Okay.
from the folks watching along at home.
Yes, thank you.
Said if we need any of that stuff printed, the door hangers, tents, et cetera, how do we go about doing that as council? I know you guys said you've got like the.
So the-
15
Yes, so for
million,
So
door
for
hangers.
printing the materials, so the sales flyers or order forms, the order forms will be coming in, the door hangers will be coming in, and the table tents will be coming in. So we will have packets. They gave us a nice little tote bag for each unit. So those packets will be put together and available at September Roundtable. If somebody from your unit can't come to September Roundtable, I assume they'll be at council office
Yeah,
to
so
pick
might come
up
we can send them
after
these.
September Roundtables.
So we'll just take the other people who don't show up around table, we just grab their stuff.
You can't take their stuff, Gabe. Sorry. Anybody else? Question?
I've got some questions.
Hang on, back here.
Yeah, is there any sort of an app to help you manage individual or store sales? Or is it
So-
all being recorded on sheets and sent to your current?
For the storefront sales? Is
Or-
that- Yeah, so they kind of call, so this My PR Popcorn that your scout is going to get access to when you create that scout login, they call it an app. I call it a web page that you could save to your phone as a shortcut. It's not really an app, but you can track things within that My PR Popcorn is what it's called. And then on the kernel side, we've got that kernel tracker. So I feel like those two do communicate. Again, with it being new, I'm not quite sure how it's all going to flow. So I wouldn't actually call it an app, but I would call it a website that you can get to and enter your sales. But then it's going to flow to that kernel tracker, if that makes sense. So again, until we all get in there and can use it, it's going to be hard to explain. So I wouldn't, because it's definitely not an app like Trails End had. It's not the same thing, but it's definitely, I mean, I would just call it, it's a web page,
It's a web page, but you can easily.
but you can easily save it as a
short.
shortcut to your
Yeah.
phone or your tablet or
Yeah, you can
any
just
electronic
send-
device.
Any way you were
Yes.
doing sales with the app, you were going door to door using it, that sort of thing, you could do it the same way here.
Yes,
So I've
yes.
got.
We got one more.
So on returning a full case,
Yes,
is that a factory sealed full case?
No, they can
or
be open
actually
as long
a
as-
full case?
the box can be opened as long as there is a full case of product that's not opened.
Fair enough.
Yes,
Good question though.
yes.
You ready for me?
I'm ready. We're ready. We're ready for
Uh,
Kevin. Come over here so
from-
they can hear you on the Zoom.
Well, It's the folks on Zoom that we've got here.
All right.
From Jennifer Seal online, will council have extra product if show and sell goes well and units need to restock?
That's a
Yes.
question for you.
I hope so. We expect it. The beautiful thing with Pecatonica is they said if we need it, they're going to get it to us. We see that automatically because every other year, if you've been involved with the popcorn sale, you know that we load up everything for Pawnee in a little white truck and we send it off. Then it comes back, we load up everything for Osage Nation and we go off. And then we load everything for Canton and we send it off. They're going to ship to 4 locations for us this year. So I think if we're in a pinch and we've got product that we need to move and you guys need product and we don't have it on hand, we will get it. Sherry and I will
Absolutely.
work to have enough additional on hand early on that we've got what you need without putting us at too much of a pinch. But we will definitely try to expect to. And again, they're so responsive. I don't see them not giving us what we need to sell,
Absolutely.
especially if it's going.
Absolutely.
How will youth in multiple units be handled? I'm not sure. Unless it's the averages that they're looking at, the average youth sold might be why, you know.
Sarah, are you on voice?
I can be.
Okay. Can you explain that a little better?
Okay, so my question is, I personally have a youth in a troop and 2 crews.
So a
I
troop
know
and
that-
2 crew. Okay.
I know that the troop is selling popcorn. I know that the crew
Right.
is selling popcorn.
Okay.
So, and I know that we have at least 1, maybe 2 other youth in our crew that are in troops and ships.
Got it.
So if all
You're
of
saying
those
if-
units,
If a youth is in a troop registered and also in a crew or a ship, how do you handle those sales?
yes,
We may have to get back to you on that one, Sarah,
okay,
if that's okay.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because it depends on who they register with. And yeah, so we'll think about that and we'll definitely get you an answer, Sarah.
Okay, thank you.
Definitely. Yep, you bet.
I think those are online questions.
Okay.
So a few pieces. Oh, we've got 2 more out here.
Oh, yes,
I
Shane.
have another question.
Okay.
We have the boys troop and the girls troop.
Yes.
Can they do popcorn sales together?
No,
So it has to be done as.
You want to be 2
you
units?
want to be 2 units.
Because honestly, with the girls troops, you know, if you girls, you've got 5 right now and we go to middle schools and we knock some things out of the park and you pick up 5 more girls, their average is gonna be much easier to hit than vice versa.
So you might get a higher commission.
Yeah, so as we start combining units, things get messy real quick. So good question though. Yes, Shay.
On the reorder or ordering additional product, is there not a way that we could come out right, bypass district, bypass count, and they just drop ship it to my place for buying it?
No, unfortunately. I don't think so.
But if you're moving at those levels, we're gonna take care of you.
We'll talk. Yeah, we need to talk.
I mean,
We need to talk.
I don't know if I can promise that we ship right to your place, but we'll find a way to take care of it.
Yes.
Canon Express.
Kevin Express. There
There's
we go.
sunflowers and little yellow truck.
But those things, well, like additional stuff, that's gonna come to the council office.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get with you, Kevin, after we get done. You probably understand what I'm asking.
Okay. All right. And honestly, we can talk to Pecatonic. If you've got something up your sleeve, I can see them, you know, again, if we're moving the product, I could see me saying, here's a pinpoint on the map, I mean, here.
Well, okay.
We'll see.
We'll talk after.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Yes, Patty?
When your online sales start, and we sign.
That's a good question. When do we want them to start? Now? I don't think and online, I don't think it matters,
No,
honestly.
I don't. No.
Should we just make the decision? You can start selling online now.
You guys want to
Go
start
for
selling
it.
online now?
Do it.
Okay. Let's see.
Good question, Patty.
Well,
I mean, the
how
sooner we
kids look at
sell,
like
the more
September,
we
right?
sell. So, I mean, online to me doesn't affect. Typically, those are going to be out of town. They might be, yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I want to follow up to that.
yes,
Can you do online all year round like you did?
I believe. Well, they do take their site down for construction a little bit so like when we were talking to them this summer, their site was not up.
Yeah.
So I think it goes down at some point for maintenance, but I'm not sure how long, but you want to write that one down?
There's
No.
Council restriction.
No council restriction on selling popcorn through, Yeah, but we'll find out a better date, because I do know that they do shut it down for a little bit of time.
You'll
'Cause,
take your
like-
30% whenever you get it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, sir.
So if they start the online sales now, does that count towards that first week of sales? for the
Absolutely.
incentive
Yes, it will count towards the first week.
for the
Anything
$2,500?
online sold now counts towards the first week. That's kind of how we did it last year too. Is anything sold right at the beginning counted towards the first week? Because we started selling pretty early last year too. We do need to find out though, you have it on the list, Kevin, to find out how quickly the turnaround time is for shipping. Like if we start placing orders now, how soon are they going to start shipping them? Because there was a little bit of a delay last year. Again, more probably due to COVID than necessarily just ordering, but we will find that out. Okay.
Ignore your phones
Um,
growing up, that's my list.
Sorry, yes.
I had one customer last year ask me about the nutritional value.
Nutritional values, I believe, are on that.
Right next to helpful
What's down?
tips.
Right next to.
Yes, right down
Okay,
here.
I wanted to make sure that was there.
Yep, absolutely. Good question. And I believe a lot of their stuff says, a lot of theirs is gluten-free, which a lot of popcorn is gluten-free. So, but it's on there. Yes, over here.
Is there a way to make a online store for just like a generic one for the troop as a whole, because some people don't like
We get that question a lot,
online?
and it's just, I think you have to tie it to a scout. I mean, it has to get recorded to someone, unfortunately.
A lot of people don't like any basic information.
Yes, I understand.
I agree. We haven't.
Unfortunately,
we haven't had all of these guys
yeah.
in the past.
In the past, the answer has been no. I mean, we can ask again, because obviously it's a different company, but
And they said
Yeah.
they'll take scout. Scotty makes scout face to someone.
I love it. Yes, ma'am.
Nutritional thing, is there an ingredient list on there too?
Good question. Somebody have online, Leslie?
I'm shopping online right now, actually. and
Yep.
I was-
Are you ordering me white ruby, Leslie? Order me some white ruby.
There's a 3-line menu that you can select, and it has the nutrition information. So it has the nutrition label as well as the ingredient,
Nice.
just FYI.
So again, online for those on Zoom, it does have the nutritional ingredients. It's the bottom of the webpage, nutritional info tab. Great. That's excellent. Another question right here?
Do they show you whether or not it's been got on a conveyor belt with nuts?
Yes. My guess is going to be yes, because their products, do they have one with, they have trail mix. They do produce trail mix.
An objection, it says
So-
that it's peanut free.
Interesting.
In a nut-free.
So maybe we ask,
It says some is there.
so maybe we ask PR if, because what they could do is they may have that on a separate, like completely a
Yeah.
separate
Warehouse.
or belt or whatever. So, yeah. Okay. Kevin, I need to plug in my laptop. Did you want to talk about?
Oh. So real quick
Uh-huh.
on this, under the nutritional info, you can go item by item. And it says like butter microwave contains milk. Buffalo ranch contains milk, processing facility that also processes soy, peanuts, and tree nuts. And it goes item by item. Which is awesome. So everybody's taken care of.
That's great. Thank you, Derek.
So.
So again, for those on the Zoom, if you go on there, each product item by item, it will tell you what is in it, what kind of factory it's processed in, what it was done. So, okay, you need to be over here so they can hear
I
you.
will. I just didn't want to keep.
Okay.
cutting you. So I've got 4 things. We're going to start with the most important. Everybody, let's give Sherry a round of applause. This has been amazing. Yeah. In a world where things are topsy-turvy, to say the best, at the office, we're going great. We're awesome. Things are going to be fantastic. But we're a little thin-staffed, and we've had some changes happening. Sherry has put in hours and hours and time, and I don't know. We text and back and what? We don't talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. Thank God we get along. It's wonderful. Okay, so that was number 1. Number 2, the energy we just saw for Sherry, you've got to bring this energy back to your units. It's just like us doing a scout talk. I come in and I'm like, hey guys, join scouts. It's gonna be great. versus guys, come on, let's go. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna go launch rockets. We're gonna go camping. We're gonna go fishing. You've got to bring that with the popcorn. You drive the kids. Your excitement drives the kids' excitement. You know, anybody who came back to me and said, well, our kids decided not to do it. You didn't tell them 34%. You didn't share with them the troop thing I'm about to share. You didn't really, you know, it was like, well, it's popcorn. They don't want to sell it. They're teenage boys. They don't sell popcorn.
Not true.
Bring that. And we're going to tell you right now. But again, you've got to bring the energy. You've got to believe it. You've got to want to do it. And man, we could use your help. You saw what the sales were last year. You know, council-wide, you know the registration fees that we all love so much. Don't come to us. This is 30-something% of our operating budget. You know, everybody heard about the big bad program fee. Well, we've pushed that away for now, which is good, I feel. That said, we've still gotta get there. So please champion it to your units, bring the excitement, get them excited. Again, 34%, so much good stuff we can do. So number 3, so troop-wise, I know every troop has their own feel on sheath knives. I know as a council, we do not allow them on our properties. So you're a QSR, you can't bring a sheath knife, you can't bring them to a council event. So trappers, we both woods, district events, you can't bring a sheath knife. That said, the BSA does allow them. And we figured out 3 or 4 years ago that in the right scenario, with pieces written into your bylaws to make sure we're safe, that sheath knives are a wonderful carrot to motivate your older scouts. So in 450, we've got multiple rules, one being a parent sign off, one being you have to be first class, but our youth are allowed to carry a sheath knife. So 4 years ago, 5, I'm chatting with Dave Dibble, our Scoutmaster. How do we get them boys motivated? How do we do it? What do we do? And I think, is this year 1?
Yes.
This thing's a monster. But basically so our unit splits at 50-50. So let's say it's 30%. So the boys who normally sell, honestly, let's be real, your average troop scout, $200, $300 at best, right? If they hit $1,000, they get half of their sales automatically. So they get $150 towards whatever. For us, that's like 5 weekend camps, right? At $30 a piece, right? So they get that automatically if they hit sales, or if they hit $1,000, they get half, no matter what we do. That's how our troop works. They get half. If they hit 1,000 though, of the half the troop gets, which again is $150 that we weren't going to get if they didn't sell anything, we buy them a knife. And we usually stamp it or do something to personalize it with Troop 450 and the year. And this is something that they will have forever. And this guy is solid. And this was about, I think they were about $40. It was about what Dave usually spends. But it's one of those things, Sherry had to ask permission to bring these because they belong to Tristan, her son, and he's earned them. But
No,
he will
He's
have,
not first class and he's almost 15, so he can't take them to a camp. But he has earned them and he's very proud of them.
and he'll have these forever. And these may be something he passes on to his scouts eventually, but these are solid. This was one. This one was sharp, and it's got 450 in 2019. And again, camera, you're screen sharing, so we'll take pictures to send. But this was another one. And then this year, I had nothing to do with this one. This one's a lot more tactical.
And Mr. Dibble got that one because it was more functional.
Okay, it was a more functional, usable knife. So again, not saying you have to do that, but year 1 was about $3,000.
So
Like
my
you got
first
it.
year as Colonel, we did not do any sheath knives.
We did
I don't
nothing.
think so.
We did the whole.
So the year before I took over, we sold 3,400, and then my first year we sold about 9,000.
And that was year 1.
Year 1. Second year we sold 18,000.
Yeah.
And then each year we've sold about, then it was 20, and then last year with COVID, I think we only sold 10. But still, we sold.
But
10.
still, a troop that sold 10 during COVID. Because here's the deal.
But each year we've had 4 to 7 scouts earn.
But we probably had 10 or 12 scouts try. And the thing is so the ones that stop at 600 or 700 still did much better and helped their families and helped themselves much more than the kid who wouldn't have sold or might have done 100 or 200. So again, we've seen it as a magic bullet. And again, a troop selling 10 to 20,000 in popcorn sales at 30-something%, guys, that's, $20,000 is $6,000 towards a troop. I mean, I don't know what trailers go for this year, or these days, but that sort of thing helps. So that was it. And then the last piece, again, bring the excitement. So like almost last piece. And the last piece is tasting kits. So they asked us how many units would sell We threw them a number. They threw us 120 tasting kits. So what we're asking is if you represent a couple of units, a few units, and we kind of went through and tried to figure out some of these, but if you represent a couple of units and your units aren't very big, maybe it's a pack troop combo that together you've got less than 15, 18 kids, or maybe it's a girl troop, boy troop, that between the two, you've got maybe 10, 12, 14 kids. Do us a favor, maybe take one, and we're kind of looking at them, but take one tasting kit instead of two, just because we're trying to stretch them to as many people as possible. So I think that was the last piece. Again, thank you all of you for being here. This is, I would say, the most representation from a plethora of units that we've had at anything. I mean, we've had some really great roundtables, but you get lots of bulk units, that sort of thing. But this is fantastic. Thank you all for being here.
Yes.
Definitely hit up Mike, Mindy, Chloe, if you're a pack and you haven't talked about recruitment. Our world for the next 6 weeks is getting you guys kids. And fate, Mother Nature, life, whatever, trying to pile some things against us. As we know, the world's kind of spinning up again, but we're going to do our best, but we need your help on that. So hit them up. And again, we'll be around for questions. Sherry
And
I are gonna
those
head
of you online, we will get with you to get your tasting kits. We'll probably have them at the council office, so we can contact you and do
out.
that.
So we need to head out. So Sherry and I are going to come out to help distribute tasting kits right now.
Yep.
So awesome. I'm going to stop. You want to see the knives? Come check them out.
Yep.